You are listening to the Chicago House Radio Podcast. Tune in weekly to hear the latest house music news, events and interviews with the hottest DJs and producers from around the world. And now here's your host, Lloyd Dev.
Welcome to the Chicago House Radio Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us today. You're hanging out with your host. It's yours truly, Lloyd Dev, with the all-new Chicago House Radio Podcast. This is episode number 1. So we get started on a new journey in radio broadcasting. You guys are already familiar with ChicagoHouseRadio.com. At least I hope that you do know about ChicagoHouseRadio.com. And if you don't, why not? Why haven't you been over to ChicagoHouseRadio.com to get some of the best house music of your life? It is available 24/7 by giving us a visit at ChicagoHouseRadio.com. And like I said, we're starting off into a new adventure here with the Chicago House Radio Podcast. This is, in fact, episode number 1. And we got some great things in store for you. It's coming up real soon here as we explore the latest in house music news, information, events, as well as we talk and converse with the movers and shakers in house music. Who are the top guys around here doing things, putting in that work, making those beats, spinning around the world? We will explore that and find out what their lives are all about, what they do on a daily basis, what are some of the upcoming projects that they are having, and places that they have traveled, some of the roads that they've traveled in the past, a lot of things that you didn't know about as well as myself. It's a lot of things that I'm learning as I interview some of our guests. A lot of different things that I'm learning. So it's going to be fun, man. This is the place you want to be. It's the all-new Chicago House Radio Podcast with Lloyd Dev. And it's another aspect we're adding to Chicago House Radio. If you like to give your input, insight, and analysis, you know you're welcome to do so. We can do it via email. It's a quick trip to info@ChicagoHouseRadio.com, info@ChicagoHouseRadio.com, and put in the subject line some of the guests you'd like to see appear here on the Chicago House Radio Podcast, as well as some of the topics you'd like to have discussed on the program. We're going to get into all that. So right now, and this is episode number 1, we're still shaping and designing, getting everything intact, getting it solid, so you can have the type of experience that you're looking for and that you expect from Chicago House Radio. I want to bring you some quality stuff. Now, this first episode is no stranger. This guest is no stranger to Chicago House Radio. He's been with us for over 10 years now. It's been over a decade. He's been with us for quite some time. Has played on Get Down Saturday night. Has contribute mixes to the station, as well as his music, some of the latest stuff that he's done recently, as well as stuff in the past. And we worked on projects together as well. I'm talking none other than the one and only David Britton. He's on episode number 1 of the Chicago House Radio Podcast. And man, we go deep. We get off into it. And it's a number of different subjects that we cover. But man, you don't want to miss out on this. So we want you to sit back, relax, get comfortable as we kick off episode number 1 of the Chicago House Radio Podcast. It is Lloyd Dev, and it's getting ready to go down. So sit back, relax, as we talk with David Britton right here on the Chicago House Radio Podcast. Lloyd Dev, Chicago House Radio. We're getting ready to kick off the podcast. It's the first in the series, and the person I got on the line today needs no introduction. He's been around for quite some time with Chicago House Radio. Going to introduce to some
and just reintroduce the others because, like I say, he's been around. The one and only David Britton. Dave, what's going on, man?
What's happening, man? What's happening, Lloyd? What's happening, everybody? What's going down? What's happening?
Nothing much, man. I know you've been in for a while, man. You've been out doing a host of different things, man, from putting out music to spinning to doing a whole lot of stuff, man. So kind of tell people what you've been up to lately.
Well, pretty much I've just been doing a lot of production, doing a lot of remixing, a lot of putting tracks out on several labels from UK to Barcelona to New York to Spain. I have several projects out on Henry Street, legendary Henry Street label, Buckethead, These Sounds Follow My Mind, Henry Street on that label. Jack and Tracked Out label in the UK, 74 South UK. Just got picked up a Barcelona label called Drew's House, and Groovy Rhythm that's based out of Spain.
Okay.
Really dope producer name of Bononte. He's kind of like on those lines of Angelo Ferreira type producer. Yeah, really cool guy, and doing a lot of just putting out a lot of tracks and remixes out, and just getting branding my name out there. Gonna be doing a little traveling as well.
Okay.
Going out to San Fran. November the 22nd to the 25th, meeting up with crew promoters and event people. Then heading out to Europe in December sometime, mid-December.
Okay.
Out there. And then coming back here, and it's a new club called Le Nocturnal. It's up north, 4810 North Broadway. Really beautiful spot, sound system on point. I haven't heard no sound system since, like, Shelter, Warehouse, Red Dog. This place is immaculate.
So yeah, and I want to get off into that with you, man, because you were one of the DJs that were around during that time frame, during that era that was spinning in some of these popular northside Chicago clubs, and we're gonna go into that in a minute. Tell me a little bit more about some of the production you've been doing, just in terms of the music you've been putting out. Kind of like. See, you got some stuff with Henry Street as well. How did you get connected with those guys over at Henry Street up in New York?
Well, it was kind of funny. Well, the thing is, in the game of, I was told, like, from people who pretty much told me, like, inspired me to like get gear and equipment was like Roy Davis and Johnny Fiasco. And they always told me, like, when you're doing a track, especially if you're trying to get on a label, try to see what the structure of the tracks on the particular label that you're trying to go after. Like, for example, if it's disco house oriented or minimal house oriented, not saying that you have to make a track exactly like that one, but something that it can adapt that would fit image to the label. So when I was making tracks, I didn't have a particular way or identity. I just, whatever came natural, if it was a jacking track or a disco type track or whatever it is. So I made a bunch of tracks and I just shopped them out. I didn't think nothing of it. I hit a few labels besides Henry Street. And in a matter of about, a week, Henry Street hit me up and said, hey, we like this. So I said, I usually send around 5 to 7 tracks, but the norm is 3 to 5, but I sent 7 around that. They pretty much took them all, my first batch of tracks. This was over a year ago. Yeah, they pretty much took them all. So so far right now, I got 3 EPs out on Henry Street. I got 2 more coming out on Henry Street. But the thing is, when you get on a particular or significant label like a Henry Street or Nervous or a Defected, everything else will follow. It will place. Everything will follow because you already being looked at as, this person is on this particular label, and things will start happening for you.
So it's like a respect factor.
Right. It's pretty much a respect factor. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I got that, man. So kind of like the process of getting out here for like a new producer that just started making stuff, and he wants to get his stuff out there. Is this like a recommendation, a way that you would have a new producer put his stuff out, just kind of start along those frames of where you regulate?
I think you can. It's just what you want to do. Like if you're making tracks and you want to go out and get your stuff heard, you know, everybody has a different outlet how they want to do it with Bandcamp and Spotify and all that. If you're trying to get yourself known out here on a label, on a DJ network like that, you just gotta just do your research of what you're trying to do as far as, you know, your production. You know, if it's, I don't care what it is, if it's disco house, filter house, minimal house, tech house, look up some of these labels that would be interested. I mean, it don't have to be necessarily from your city. It could be from another city, another country, overseas, you know, and that's what I've learned over the years. You know, just because someone may not like your stuff in your own city doesn't mean someone else ain't going to like it all over the world. So it's just, you just stick to your guns and just keep pumping out your stuff. It's like throwing it against the wall. A bound is going to stick. Something is going to stick.
Right, exactly. So with the production, you've been doing that for a while now. Now, which one came first? Were you producing or were you DJing first?
Oh, I was DJing, like most DJs. Most cats, well, I know, speak for Chicago, most of us was DJing. You know, some probably started off production or maybe they was playing instruments and fell into DJing, but most, from what I know growing up, everybody was a DJ. So, I was a DJ first. But as little, I used to play the drums, but I just gave that up, lost interest in that, then I started going. I mean, I guess basically that's now I know how to count measures and know how to where the beat and rhythm and stuff comes from just playing with drums. But the whole thing is with that, moved on from that. Then I started going out to these teen clubs, you know, in the high school, went to Wicked Young. So I saw like Hot Mix 5 come to the school. And I was like, well, what's this? I'm like, okay, you know, some DJs, Kenny and Scott and Farley Funk and Keith and Ralphie and all these. And then kind of like was caught me interested, but I wasn't aware of the mixes yet until a month later, and started hearing all these BMXs and, you know, and the KKC mixes and CRX mixes, and just, you know, like, okay. Then I started hearing about like where you can go to see these DJs, like teen clubs, like Medusa's, the Playground, stuff like that. So, you know, it's pretty much like everybody. Caught the bug, was, you know, captivated. It was like something to do. You know?
Right, absolutely. And I think like the mainstay for me was getting off into house music and getting to this new thing. The radio at that time, commercial terrestrial radio, they were real popular in terms of playing mixes and stuff like that. So with that coming about, man, we would hear these tunes on the radio and would be in a record shop the next day or sometime towards the weekend trying to find this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, back then, I mean, some people had it on PC. Some people would go down there with a little tape recorder. Hey, you know what this is? Or they'll go down there humming the song. Like, hey, you know what, blah, blah, blah. And either they know or they don't know, or, you know, you recording all these mixes. And that's what a lot of people did. They recorded on these Tone Masters and different cassettes, you know, and Maxwell's and all that.
Man.
And they go down there looking for these cuts. Look at, hey, you know what this is? What this is? What this is? You know, I was one of them. I was doing it. I was going to Loop, Import Records, Coconuts, going somewhere everywhere, you know, looking for cuts.
Well, you know, it's funny you mention that, man, because it looks like it's been a resurgence in terms of records, wax, vinyl. It's been picking back up lately as people start putting away CDs. They're not buying as many CDs, and you know, people using MP3s as usual.
Yes, vinyl is making a surge. It's slowly coming. I say by 2021, you're gonna see an impact of vinyl coming back hardcore. you're gonna see.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, man. We got a few record shops that are still around, and they are still dedicated to putting out selling of vinyl and purchasing vinyl. But as we mentioned that, man, we got a store here in Chicago on the north side, Gramaphone Records, and they're getting ready to celebrate 50 years of being in the business. Started in 1969. Yeah. So that's gonna be grand, man. They've been around 50 years. So Gramaphone, I know it. At some point, I was either driving or catching the bus or the train up to Gramaphone when it was at its first location on North Clark Street before it got on the other side of Belmont. But I would catch the train and ride that 22 or 36 bus down there and jump off Schubert and run into that store. And it was just like a community, man, because you would see somebody you probably haven't seen in a while, and you spend hours in the store digging, ordering stuff. And sometimes if they ran out, you would put an order in for it and come back, maybe hoping the next week it'll come in, or you call down to the store and you come back in and get it. So these guys in Gramaphone, man, it was a nice community. It wasn't a real huge store, but it was a lot of love and a lot of attention and a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah, it was an independent store for DJs, and to go there and chop it up and talk music and listen to music, buy stuff you ain't never heard before, and that's where DJs got their source of stuff. When they hit the clubs, they playing that night or that weekend or what have you. But I remember when I first went to Gramaphone, it was like leaving Imports. Imports was another big store before Gramaphone.
Man, Gramaphone, man. Once I would tell cats, man, we got on the phone. Look, hey, I'm gonna meet you up there in about an hour or so. We meet up in the store, and there'd be guys in the store already, and they'll grab a batch of stuff. The stuff that was on the wall, especially from the labels that you already knew. That stuff was automatic. You already knew your large records, your Nervous stuff, your 8-ball. You saw this stuff. You already knew it was hot, so you come walking through the door grabbing that stuff, and hold on to it so you can listen to it. But it'll be other guys in the store, and they go through the bins, and they'll come across some stuff. And Gramaphone will let you open stuff up and let you put on the turntables. You can listen to it. So that was the cool part about that. And then plus, if you remember, whoever was behind the counter, the store already, you come in the store, they already playing stuff.
Right, yeah, they're in the booth. They're in the booth, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
If Oscar was in there, man, I would love to go on there on the days Oscar McMillan was in there, because this guy, he had an impeccable ear. He had a hellified ear for music, man. He'd be playing stuff. You go through the door and you see him up there. You can come out with fingers.
Exactly. Yeah, you go in there and you can go in the bins and grab like 25, 30 records, stack of records or whatever, and you going through this stuff and you like, man, what is this? And if you in the booth playing, people in the store, they digging in the bins or looking on the wall, the top 20, whatever wall, they turn around and you could be up there just playing. So they, man, what's this? Where you get that at? Where that's at? Yeah, that was the
man.
I mean, the cuts was in the bins.
Yes.
That's where the music was at.
Yes, they did. And you didn't really think much about money. You come up with money for the stuff you want. You put it on a card or you had your check and got paid. Right. You're going to come out of here with $100, $150, $200.
Yeah, you're going to spend some money. You're going to spend some money. Right. You're going to put stuff on hold and you're going to come right back up there and get the rest of that stuff too.
Man, I remember some points I was going twice a week. I just because I had some on my game, and this difference in house music. We had the underground stuff, the soulful stuff, that hard hitting, minimal, the deep stuff that was coming out, and you want to have an edge whenever you play. So if I was spinning in a club or on the radio or whatever, man, I wanted to be on top of my game. I didn't want nobody to outdo me. So I'm like, shit, I got to go to the store and I got to go in and get it.
Right, you had to go get that heat.
Yeah.
I mean, And that was the beauty. I mean, I remember I'm going on Saturdays and Wednesdays for G-Funk. I was going twice a week, like you said. But that's when the stuff come out. People be waiting for the records get busted open in the boxes to get them checked in, and people just wait. And then you come on Mondays, or you came on Saturdays. Yeah.
So during the week, depending on what time of day you come in there, you go in there and wouldn't be as busy. The traffic is a little slower. That was kind of cool too. You go in there, you catch the right person in there. Melvin Gentry might be up in there. Remember a time when DJ Sneak was working there. Mike Serafini, of course, he ended up owning the store eventually. He came in, as an employee, and he ended up buying the joint on the long run.
Right.
So
in the long run, he ended up buying the store. So it's a mark of 50 years of Gramaphone. Being around. I don't even know how any other stores been around that long. That's been around that long. Probably is, but I mean, in Chicago we have Gramaphone, so kudos to them.
And then here's the thing. When we talk about North Clark Street in Chicago, you had an abundance of record shops that just was on that strip in that area. That whole area, man, it was a bunch of record stores.
Yeah, you had Hi-Fi, Dave's, Secondhand Tunes. You had, you had a lot of them. Little stores with Reckless Records.
Reckless,
You had everything. Dr. Wax,
Dr. Wax, yes. You had a lot of stuff along there. Then when you got done with it, you had a place to go eat too, because there's a lot of little eateries, a lot of little spots. You want to get your grub on.
Yeah,
Golden Nugget right there, right across the street.
You get two burgers for $5 up there, right up the corner on Broadway, right there. Splits off with Belmont up there.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, man, it was a place to be, man. So you had Gramaphone. Then if you come back to Printers Row, or you come back on Plymouth Court, you had Imports. That's probably one of the first ones when I started going down towards the Loop. Imports records.
Imports, and a lot of people forget about Liz Torres and Jesse. They had a record store right after Loop. He was over on Milwaukee, and Damon, way before clubs started popping up in the 90s. It was called Street Side. Street Side right there on Milwaukee.
Right.
For a hot minute. For a hot minute.
You right about that. You absolutely right about that. Then you had Julian Jumper Perez. He had Jumper Music over at the Brickyard.
Yeah, Jumper Music. He had Supercuts. He had all kinds of record stores branching off.
Yeah. We had some stores, man. So there was some
Hot Jams.
Hot Jams over on Archer. Andre Lopez. Yeah, you go over there on 49th and Archer. You across from Curie High School. Exactly. Just some stuff, man. A lot of stuff. So you talk about the area over there, the Damon in Milwaukee on the north side, that Wicker Park area. You DJ'd a lot in that area with some of those with those clubs that were popping up in the 90s, along with yourself and Mark Grant and Lego. Tell us about that, man. How did you kind of get started over there when you started playing?
Well, that whole area, Wicker Park or / Bucktown, as its name, or people called it, it was more of an artsy area. It was more like for lofts and art people to display their art and talent, their drawings and all that. And before clubs started really happening, a lot of people started having loft parties on Milwaukee and Damon in that area. So a lot of people lived in lofts at that time. As a matter of fact, I moved into a loft with a couple of friends off of Milwaukee and Ogden over there. I lived in a loft, and there was a few people like Dave Gandy lived on Aberdeen, and there was some other few people lived on Milwaukee, like Whiteout. I can't think of those other people, but it was a lot of lofts all up and down Milwaukee, Damon, North Avenue, and it was all about art, displaying your art. People was into the art thing. So clubs like Red Dog started right at the peak of 90, 91. You know, they was, you know, they had like, I don't want to say audition. They was just pretty much back then. You submitted a cassette, and you know, you hope for the best, but then eventually you came in, did you audition? But how I fell into Red Dog was before there was a club called Mad Bar across the street.
Mad Bar, yeah.
There was a club called Mad Bar across the street. But before it was Mad Bar, it was called Amadeus. It was a place called Little Amadeus.
Okay.
I was playing there before it turned into Mad Bar. So the owners, I knew the manager. The manager came from a place called Lizard Lounge, where he met Johnny Fiasco. Johnny Fiasco came from Club Naked and Lizard Lounge, and Craig Alexander. So Johnny ended up playing at Red Dog before me. How I ended up playing at Red Dog, I was at Club Amadeus across the street. The manager took the owners over there, and they was like, you know, it was like looking at this place called Amadeus. Now they was ready to open up Red Dog, and they was checking me out, you know, and I knew them kind of just by, you know, being in the neighborhood, but I knew the manager. So they was in there one night, and they was like, who is this playing? They said, that's Dave, man. So, oh, okay. Next thing I know, he said, hey, come see us next week. We want to holler at you. Okay. I ended up playing with Freddie Bang, a guy named Burl Levante.
Okay.
On a Friday, on a Saturday night. Now remember, when Red Dog opened up, how they promote their club was a red bulldog on it, face of a bulldog, red, and they used to stick condoms on the flyer. That's how they promoted their club.
Wow. Wow.
So it was me, Freddie Bang, and Burl Levante. And that night was wild. That's all it was a mixture from Nipser, I did a little bit of it. Burl Levante was not really particular a house DJ per se. He was more like industrial. He was more like industrial meets alternative, but he knew how to play house.
Gotcha.
Freddie Bang came from the Crowbar Normandy circuit.
Yeah.
He was up north.
I'm familiar with Freddie Bang, yes.
You know, whereas I come from the music box, growing up at the playground, and going out the soil, you know, growing up in the 8 and all that. So, okay.
Yeah.
Now, you got three individuals. Now, this particular night was, I can remember like it's yesterday, because the music was like Nipsey Ave meets Frankie Goes to Hollywood meets house.
Like that.
It was a collective of everything, this particular night.
Okay. I can dig it.
But it was on point. It was on point. So after that, you know, they used to put certain DJs together, like Spencer Kinsey with Johnny Fiasco. Johnny Fiasco used to spin with Mike Pierce, and Mike Pierce used to spin with Little John, and so forth.
Right.
So I ended up spinning on. I used to alternate some Saturdays with Johnny. Okay, Johnny, and I think Mike Pierce used to play together. Little John and Psycho Bitch used to play together on Friday.
They sure did, yeah. Because that was my intro right there with those guys on Friday.
Freddie Bang was already there. They put him on Monday because they wanted to start up this gay night thing. So it was pre Boom Boom Room. It was Hi-Fi Bungalow galore. Then they added the Boom Boom Room tag to it. So there was a guy named Hi-Fi Bungalow. That was his name. So it was Freddie Bang and a cat named Orlando. Okay, Orlando ended up moving away, and I believe Lego came into the picture.
Okay.
Lego came into the picture. So it went from Freddie Bang to Orlando to Freddie Bang to Lego. Mark Grant was playing up on the 3rd floor. Mark Grant was upstairs. A lot of people didn't know that Red Dog had a 3rd floor. They had a 3rd
Well, tell me about that catwalk, because I know when Lil Jon and Psycho Bitch, see, during that time in the 90s, early 90s, we were spinning on wax. And so I knew I had a hell of a time trying to get them records up that catwalk. And
ladder. You had to walk that ladder. I mean, well, it was called like Shelter. Let's just say it was Shelter and Red Dog, and I want to say Kaboom.
Kaboom,
And Kaboom had ladders where you had to climb up these ladders. They was bolted to the wall real good. It wouldn't fall or come out. It was just still like you to come up. But you had one arm trying to go up, and another arm on your record bag or your case. Let's just say I have seen some Roadrunner Coyote incidents. Let's just say I have seen some of those. Those trunks and things fall on people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was kind of good because you up there in the air and people, they couldn't get you. You had a range where you could do what you want to do, where it's not people in your ear so much.
Right.
I think that started the whole thing of the DJ away from the floor, but looking down on the floor like some type of dictator or god, where he or she can control and command the dance floor. So,
right, and that was the thing with that, because Psycho Bitch, now she had, she was spinning with that flashlight on her head. That cap with the light on. I guess that helped us see her records too. But that's how, when I came up in, I know she was on, and she had a certain style, the way she would play. So I knew when she was on there. Lil Jon had his own style too, and he had a couple of signature records that he would play. I said, oh, that's Lil Jon playing. So that was my regular spot. I'd get off work, I'd head on up there, and then how Lil
Jon got in the Red Dog, I think it was a little combination of Freddie Bang plus Lil Jon put a record out on Lars Ulysses back then too. So that kind of helped him open it up. But like I was over at Amadeus pre Mad Bar, and I was alternating. I knew Johnny Fiasco. They moved me to Mondays with Freddie. Freddie stepped down. And then it was Lego and me, and then they added Mark Grant, and it became from 2 to 3, and that's how the Boom Boom Room started.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, man, that's some fascinating stuff in there. Again, in that area too, just a lot of places to go eat once you got done. You hit them bars and stuff.
Yeah,
and it was just some
hot dogs,
man, pizza, everything.
Some of everything was just
some of everything. And I mean, 4 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you letting out, and you just said the party is over and you're on your way home. You still could hang out and get something to eat and still be in that area. I mean, you're going home 5, 6 o'clock in the morning like it was nothing to it.
Exactly, nothing to it. All you know is that music pumping in your chest and ringing in your ears, and you just go home and after you eat, you just want to crash.
You had a good time. So now tell me about this, man. You got some stuff coming up here in Chicago at this spot. You mentioned it earlier, the Nocturne on North Broadway.
Nocturne, on Broadway. Yeah, over there, up there in that AKA's Uptown Lounge area and all that. I mean, Black Wednesday. It should be interesting.
Okay.
Manager Miguel Castro, who's another one that was back around in the 90s as host and doing things in clubs. He's known. He's one of those known figureheads that was in a lot of clubs, from Mad Bar to Center Bar to Shelter to you name it, Crowbar, Kaboom. I think he was a part owner of the Mid, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And now he's with the Nocturne with some French guys that believe it or not, they kind of look like Moose T. They kind of look like a Moose T.
Well, maybe that's how the club got its name, huh? Late Nocturne.
Late Nocturne. Right, he's a French guy. So,
okay.
It's pretty much a lot of people. You go in there, you got a proposal, or you could pitch an idea. And a lot of times it's about who you know. So, get in there, called him up. Actually, I went on Paul Johnson's night, and Paul Johnson was playing a few of my tracks in his set. And Miguel, he, and now we got social media where everybody's following you. They can see what you're doing on social media anyway. So he connected dots. He connected dots. So he wanted to talk to me about possibly doing something like that. And, and I talked to him, rapped to him. So he was thinking about putting me with Mel Hammond, another guy who was another been around for a long, long time, been in the game.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes, indeed.
So, we brainstorm and everything. So the big picture is to just, come in there, bang it out on house music on Black Wednesday, and then take it from there. And hopefully everything's for the best, start being in there on a regular basis, like a monthly basis on a weekend. So I want to start creating something and getting something, in Chicago, really giving that life back to Chicago how it was, or how it used to be.
Yeah, well, we definitely know about that area. It was so much going on in that area. The Riviera, AKAs, there's so many clubs up through that. Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah. A lot going on. Rainbow. Yes, right. It's not even a distant walking distance, Riviera. Right. I mean, this is right there. This place is amazing. Sound system is incredible. Wow. Top notch. Lighting is top notch. So a good lighting system and the sound is hitting.
Everything in there is on point. Nothing is faulty. Everything is on point.
Okay.
Everything.
That's a good combination, man. So it's that thing, though, man. We didn't care what part of town we lived on. We would go to where the hot parties was at, and it wasn't nothing. To go up north if you stayed out south. Because you knew you was going to have a good time.
I'm from the west side, and I used to go, I may start off on the west side, I'll probably go into the factory or Mr. G's for a hot minute or whatever around there, or at the firehouse, and then I just make my way to the music box or the playground or Sawyer's or Powerhouse or whatever, Lava Rock. I would end up on the south side in the area because that's pretty much where Ron was playing at, or what Frankie was playing at that time. But if people went on the went to the west side, and coming from south, they're going to the west side, they probably going to see somebody at Da Vinci Manor or the Hot Five, or or maybe they're going to check out Lil Lewis somewhere. Who knows? I don't know, Sean Robinson or somebody like that. But house music was pretty much scattered everywhere. It was hotel parties going on, downtown parties, hotel, high school parties was jumping.
Laws. Empty warehouses.
I mean, everything. Empty warehouses, you name it. I mean, it was crazy.
Yes, indeed.
But it was fun. I mean, it was magic.
That's it. That was it. And practically every night of the week in this city of Chicago, it was somewhere to go. I mean, every night of the week, 7 days a week.
Yes, it was somewhere to go. I don't care where. You was something to do, go somewhere. I don't care. Mad Ball on a Tuesday, you see Oscar. Monday night, you had Boom Boom Room. Friday night, you can take your pick. You can go to Kaboom. You can go to Red Dog. You can go to Shelter. Same thing with Saturday. You can go to Crowbar. Sunday night was Crowbar. But
Green Dolphin.
Green Dolphin. You can go to Green Dolphin on the weekend. Or, Thursday night you had Shelter. Or you can go to Center Bar. It was so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
It was so much stuff going on.
Indeed, man. So it sounds like you got a lot of stuff in the works, man. And you spinning, you're traveling now. You're going to different places. You got any collaborations or anything like that coming up with some other producers? So like in terms of track?
Actually, Pierre Reynolds. He's not to be mixed up with DJ Pierre, but Pierre Reynolds. He's from here. He's on King Street. He's on King Street, so we doing a track right now. We ain't come up with a name for it yet, but I pretty much laid out the whole drums and everything, the signature at the beginning, the intro and all that. All he has to do is come in and lay down the other parts of the keys, the elements, and the strings or the roads or whatever, and that's pretty much it. And go from there. We either gonna shoot for like a King Street or maybe a Nervous or some label like that. Then I got this other EP coming out with this guy named He's from Barcelona. Sterning. I can't pronounce his name, but he runs this label called Drew's House in Barcelona. He's doing a remix for me on one of my tracks, and he's putting another remix on the other side of the label. And Paul Johnson did a remix for me that is all I gotta do is when you hear it, you ain't gonna believe it. You ain't gonna believe it.
I can only imagine. That's the guy that got me off in the production and making tracks. That's my roots right there. It's with Paul Johnson. And,
Paul is something else.
Yes, indeed, man. So let's sit there, man. You've been pretty busy, man. Just sitting there looking at.
Been doing stuff like Spain labels, and looking at like this Boniti guy. He's pretty much tight. Groovy Rhythm label. It's pretty good. He got some good tunes coming off of there. I mean, and I keep running into that Angelo Ferrari guy on several labels. That's a bad producer.
Ain't no question about it. Yeah, ain't no question about it. He's one of the guys that's in the forefront. It just he averages putting out a lot of different tracks at least every couple of weeks or so. You'll see his name circulate.
And that's the thing. You gotta pump out music. You just can't sit back, pump out a track here or a track there. You gotta constantly keep doing it. You gotta constantly. I mean, the game has changed. You gotta have tracks coming out. No matter if it's coming out this month, then okay. I mean, you take control of when the tracks come out on the labels, but you got to make sure your stuff is coming out consistently.
Yeah,
that's all it
agree.
is. You got to start making stuff. Boom, get it out. Shop. Who got it? What label's coming out? Boom. Okay, set up. Go with this. Start doing that. Working on this, and don't pigeon yourself making a particular type of track. Don't what I'm saying is, if you like soulful, that's cool. You like jacket, that's cool. But try to know how to adapt to a little bit of everything. Minimal, jacket, soulful, deep, techy, Afro.
Wow.
Because that will further, people will look at you and go, wow. He or she can kind of like can do it all.
So do you think that's kind of what's been contributing to your success so far? Is that you've been able to be a little more open?
Yeah, open mind. I mean, some people, they just turned off by this or turned off by that. I mean, it's once you get it depends on how you looking at your production and how you make a track. If you looking at like your intent is probably to make a tech house track, but as the track goes on, it may turn into a soulful track. It may turn into a minimal track. The track may turn into a deep acid track. It happens. But sometimes you gotta stay focused, especially if you're going out a particular label. You gotta stay focused. Okay, this is the record I need to go. I need to do it this way. I need to stay on those lines. But it's hard sometimes because you just come up with something that sounds good. It happens. It just even by mistake, even if you're going a whole different route to make a track.
Hey, they call it what, a happy mistake?
Yeah, it happens,
It definitely happens.
It's one of those things, but what I do is something like that now that I am aware of it, and if I'm trying to make, for example, if I'm trying to make a deep techie type track and it ends up being something else, okay, what I'll do is I'll save what I got, go on and make that track that turned into something else, come back to the other as I saved it, finish that techie track.
So you start on a project, right? And it don't go the way you want, or you end up with writer's block. You don't delete it. You just keep your stuff and go back to it later. How do you do that? I'll make sure I save it. I learned this mistake earlier. I think I told you. I was just by accident, something came up, but I don't know if the lights went off in the neighborhood or
but I didn't save it. That's the first time that happened, but that was just something by accident. But usually if I get writer's block or something like that, I make sure I save it, come back to it later, because you probably just not feeling it at that moment, or you just not into it. You think you're into it and you're not. So you just, just work on something else, or just listen to some music, whatever. Just come back to it later. Come back a day later, a couple of days later. And
come back with a fresh mind and a whole other approach to it. Yeah.
Approach to it, right. Because you can sit there and listen to the track going, and you trying to come up with something to put in this part, this section, or whatever, and you're not feeling it.
Well, man, I know me. If I'm doing production, stuff ain't going right, I'll pause. I'll go take me a coffee break or go take a walk.
Right.
Or get me something to eat or go stretch.
Right.
And take an hour off or something and come back to it.
Right. Come back to it, or it's just like I said, it's just
or start on some brand new altogether.
Some brand new. Yeah, that happens too. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could be working on this track and you trying something out and then going there and you trying something with the track end up being something else. That's what happens. But what I do is I'll save what I'm originally working on, so that way I'll name it this and then name it that. That way I won't get confused, even though I saved it, and then started to work on in the same session, but started with other stuff going into that track. Because there's some tracks right now, I can tell you right now, because since they're out, there's some tracks right now I'm using the same maybe rows and keys or drums in 3 or 4 tracks, but I was focusing on making this track for this label. But the rows and the keys sounded so good, all I did is change them up, twist it up.
Well, you know what, and it's funny you mention that, man, because to me, when a producer comes up with that kind of concept, now you got a formula. You got a basis for making a track. So it's easy for you to get started.
You got your sound, right? You got your formula of sound, right? Then you got a signature. Like some people can tell when Louis Vega or Todd Terry because of the drums or the drums or whatever. Some people can tell certain people because of the keys or the whatever it goes. Some people can't tell who it is, but it be them people you would never think made that track.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, there's one thing about that. When you got that formula, man, you can crank out some stuff. Right. You got them drums tuned a certain way. You know how you like your filters going. You know how you do your compression. If you use it, if you're doubling up on your drums, or how you laying your hi-hats in there. Right. Whatever the case is, it's the things that it takes. It's your tools. It's what you utilize to get yourself going, so you can start making tracks.
Yeah,
and it's just a formula. You just do it over and over. You replicate it.
Right. You replicate it, you know it down pat. You know how your drums should go. You know how high your drums, your drums going to kick. You know how to beef up your drums. You know where your drum. I mean, it's the whole thing. I mean, you can go online and listen. You go on YouTube to know if your drum's too low or too high or whatever. And it's a lot of times it's trial and error. I mean, you can put some on like CD writables or thumb drives. You stick it in your CD decks or whatever. You can play it back. Then you'll know if you're too low, too high with the keys or drums or whatever. But then when you, like you said, when you start to know where you at formula-wise, level-wise, that's it. That is it.
That's it,
you're
man.
on your way.
That's it. And a lot of times I could take a pair of loop drums and give me 4 bars or something like that, and take it and just reposition it. All I'm doing is change the position of it.
Move it to position it right. Position it there. You can take a little bit of snip or something and make a track out of it. Once you, like
that's
I said,
it.
Once you know what is, especially when you know how to work your own your dog
or whatever
your
you're using.
Gear or software, whatever. That's it. That is it. You all good.
Yeah, that's it, man. And I think that's the key to putting out a lot of stuff and how to get you in the mold, get you out of writer's block is when you have a method or some kind of formula for when you sit down to write a track. You got something to get you going.
Right. And that's why I think that sometimes if you have an open mind like that, you won't be pigeonholed either, because there's a lot of people that only make one style of house music or techno music, or whatever you want to call it, soulful music. That's why I want to be able to make tech beat, acid, funky, disco house. So, because that'll, it broadens you. It gives you that talent. Plus, it positions you out there. It puts you out there, and your people will look at you like, wow, this person, he or she can do this, can do that, can make this, can make that.
That's it, man. And so, I'll say this, man. I'll just get out of that kind of mold, man, where I just got to make one style, or I'm worried about what I'm bringing in or what I'm sampling or whatever. You got to throw all this stuff out and just know music is music. You got to let it breathe. You got to let it be whatever it's gonna be, man. I go sit down with a clear conscience, and if I'm grabbing some stuff, whether I'm sampling a whole lot or just a little bit or none at all, or I'm gonna use all keys, a natural drum or acoustic or whatever I'm gonna do, you gotta sit down with production with an open mind and just let it be whatever it is it's gonna be, because everything in music comes from somewhere. And we be thinking stuff is original. Everything that we go to do, it's been here. We reshaping it and reforming it, but it's been here all along. It's just a tool. Just a tool, putting it out there. Someone probably so I probably made something. Maybe they had a similar idea across the globe. I don't know. Maybe I did it first. Maybe I did it second. But I mean, it's here. It's here, man, and just have fun with it. You got to let this stuff be. Just go ahead and you'd be amazed at what you'll come up with. Or like we were saying a little earlier, these happy mistakes. Just go on and put it in and let it be what it's going to be. Rearrange it, chop it up, try a new gadget on it. And sometimes I'll just be grabbing something and throw it on, and let me just see what this do, just for kicks and giggles. I'm just going to see what it does.
You can throw a vocoder on something. You can throw I don't want to say necessarily auto-tune, but a vocoder, filter, or delay, or some type of, or you could just, you could strip down something and you'd be surprised what you come up with.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
you can strip it down to the bare minimum and you'll be amazed what it sounds like.
Yes. Yes. I had EQ something before. I think I ain't gonna lie, one of my tracks, I took Sting. I took a Sting track. Actually from Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon. It's the beginning of Lethal Weapon 3, Probably Me. Now, if anybody know that song is slow. That's a slow track. How did I get that track to 125? On point. I mean, it sounded like you were like, man, what how did they come out with it? Man,
wouldn't never known.
You would never know.
Yeah, that's the good stuff about it, man. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we on the phone lines with David Britton, and you can't pigeonhole him or put him in no box. He's on several labels, including Groovy Rhythm, Cyber Jams, 74.
Shouts out to Sammy. Yep, 74, the UK. Slow.
Midnight Ride, Black Ride.
Black Ride, Midnight Ride, all the kind of rides there in the UK. Good label, too. Actually, how I got on that label was through Mickey Oliver. Mickey Oliver was on some podcast, and he was doing a mix, and I just happened to watch it, and he mentioned the Black Riot, Midnight Ride, about how they was reissuing a lot of hot mix 5 stuff, but also they were just looking for more like a Chicago style of house and all that. So
really,
I knew Mickey. I hit him up and he told me, hey, you got some stuff, send it. And I sent it, and boom, they loved it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I'm gonna tell you this other label that I just every time I see them, my ears, my antenna goes up. This disco balls. These guys, man. This disco balls, man.
Now that's funny how they came across me, and these guys. I'm gonna tell you, you ain't lying about how. I mean, them guys are putting out 40 going north. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
They got heat. They got heat on this label.
Yeah, they dropping it, man.
They dropping it. This dude named Maurice Blank.
Okay.
He just, I guess he was looking for me on SoundCloud, Mixcloud. He didn't have my Facebook at the time. And I guess he must have came across something on Henry Street and a couple other labels I was getting on at that time. This was about a year and a half ago. He was like, he didn't want me just to get on the label. He wanted me to do some remixes for the label.
Really?
I was like, what? I said, okay. So I'm the artist, right. So I checked out, did some research on the label because I was like, I heard of this label. I went on there and track source. I pulled up stuff on Beatport and like, man, this stuff.
Yeah.
Kept going back. This label been around since 2002.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right, man. As I know, every time I'm getting ready to play, two or three of the cuts are off this label. They constantly cranking out stuff.
Yeah. So I did a remix for actually his partner, Jeremy Jenner. He put it was called True Affairs. And then I did my take on South Soul Orchestra Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
I did my take on that. And, man, it was just like, I started off just doing remix, and they just like, hey, you got any stuff? I said, yeah, I'm working on some stuff now. I let him hear it. He was like, oh, yeah, I like that. I like this. I like that. Oh, yeah, here. I'm going to send you, yeah, okay, here, boom. Sent me a nice little check. I was like, okay, yeah, take the check. Sent it off to him. He just wanted me to pre-master them. And boom.
Oh, the checks always makes it better.
Yeah. Send me a nice little few dollars.
Yeah. That gives you some incentive.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And right, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I got, let me see, 1, 2, 3. I got Jesus in the House.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got Saturday 79.
Right.
Put your body into it. Actually,
your body into it. Yeah.
Since I seen Dolomite, I am working on the track called "Put Your Weight on It."
Okay. Yeah, the Jesus in my house. You got to move. Yeah. You got to move,
and I was happy to be watching Soul Train a throwback Soul Train, watching Gino Vanelli on there, and I was like, man, this is a cut. I mean, this Italian dude on Soul Train back in the 70s. I just said, okay, let me chop up something, see what I can come up with. Man. He said the label wanted that. I was like, okay, all right, cool.
That's it. Yeah. That's
so,
it.
And once and everybody has told me, from Roy Davis to Glenn to Johnny, once you start putting stuff out, everything else will follow. Everything else will start coming.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, man. So, like you're headed off in the right direction, man, and people are gonna be looking out for you. How can people catch up with you? You on social media?
Yeah, Facebook. I'm on Facebook. You can get me on Facebook. You can get me on Twitter.
Okay.
You can email me, David Britton, to David2Britton@yahoo.com. You can get me through Chicago House Radio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, I got to get a track to that label. That label always showed me love. Lloyd showed me love. So I got to put something out on that label.
Yeah, come on with it. Bring it.
Got to put that out. Got to put that heat out.
Yeah. Because we haven't done nothing since Corner Groove.
Yeah, Corner Groove. Corner Groove has changed to a whole different, like, Latin house kind of thing. The owner changed it from Corner Groove, so I pretty much got all the tracks that I put on that label, I got them back. You know, that's who gave me my first introduction into putting some stuff out. You know, thanks to him, Victor, out of New York. So he gone on to do more like a Latin tribal kind. Actually, he's looking for some stuff from me, but I haven't talked to him in a hot minute. But I'm gonna sit in stuff as well.
Gotcha, man. So you on all of the social media platforms, so they know to hit you up on that.
Oh yeah. Twitter on down to Instagram to Facebook to. I'm on I'm on the DJ's list of Mix Mag. I'm on there now.
Okay.
I'm in talks with an agent from Italy right now. I just talked to him a few days ago, and hopefully working some things out for 2020. So
that's good stuff, man.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff is ready. Hopefully, knock on wood, ready to start coming about.
Well, it sounds good, man. You're making some moves, man, and, you know, we definitely going to be looking out for you, and we're going to be doing some stuff on Chicago House Radio, and we get you back over here and get you in the studios, and, you know, going to do a show and get you to play some of the new stuff you done made.
Oh, yeah. I guess got to send you this tune, Bad Intentions.
Yeah.
Got to send you Saturn. Got to send you the track as soon as Pierre Reynolds get his parts and stuff done. Because you be first one to get it. Because you know Lloyd always push it out and puff it out and make sure everybody hear it. First one in Chicago to hear it. You know, just can't.
That's it. Okay,
get it. That DJ. Now you got to give it to the people that's out there that's gonna play it.
That's it. That's the key there. Is playing the stuff and then putting a name and a face behind it.
Exactly.
So we definitely got to do that. Well, y'all know to hit him up, David Britton. Y'all want to book him? He's available. He travel around the world. And he's ready. He's putting out stuff. So if you want him, you better go and hit him up while the getting is good. Get him now. Hit him up. You can email him. You can hit us at Chicago House Radio. And you can get him on Facebook. Send him a DM. And get him. You know, get this artist, get this producer, get him in your town and in your area. In your section of the world, when he's doing it, man. Good stuff, Dave, man. You know, we're going to catch up and get some stuff going, man, and especially some stuff on this production, man. Definitely send me over some stuff for the label. And I got some stuff, you know, that I finished up. I'm going to send around to you so we can make some moves on some other stuff. So 2020, you know, and what's left of 2019, you know, they going to slow and stop pressing stuff as towards the end of the year. So at some point they start slowing down a little bit.
Slowing down a little bit. Say by mid-December, that's when I think they're gonna get ready to go on vacation.
Yeah, that's it. And then they'll pick it back up. So
pick it back up.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. Well, man, it's been good talking with you, man. We starting a new thing here with this podcast, and we got a lot of people that we're going to bring through these doors, adding a new aspect to Chicago House Radio. And this is something that I felt was missing in the industry, where we talk to the movers and the shakers in the industry that are doing things and kind of just cut the music off and go and talk with them directly to see what projects they're working on, what their view of the industry is. I just haven't seen that out there, and I thought it was something that was missing. And I figured if I had to do a podcast, it would be from that perspective, you know, where you talk directly with the artists and the producers and the DJs, the movers and the shakers that are doing stuff and who continues to do stuff and that's making a name for themselves, man. So that's what the Chicago House Radio podcast is about. You're one of the first to kick it off, man. So, you know, this is the first one. I know you'll be back for some more because you're constantly doing stuff. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you gotta stay focused, keep doing it. You gotta keep straight ahead, man. I inspire every new coming DJ, producer. Don't let nobody discourage you. Keep doing what you're doing. Make it happen, because it can happen.
That's it, man. That's my key right there to success. You have to get out here and do this stuff. You got to block out how many other people doing it, or whether people gonna like you, or whether they gonna hate you. That's gonna happen anyway. You can't even worry about that. You just got to go and take a position and roll with it, and stop worrying about who hates you and who likes you, or if you're gonna try to stay neutral. and this thing ain't nobody gonna be looking at you. You can't worry about that.
Yep.
You just gotta be you. That's it, man.
You gotta do your thing, right? Do you?
Yeah, that's it, man. So, all right, Dave, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, man. And, you know, we had a blast, man. We could talk for hours when it comes to talking about Chicago and this movement and this industry and some of the people that are involved. And we can talk for hours. We can talk for days on just some of the stuff. But man, you know, you'll be back. You know, we'll hook up and do it again and go into some other stuff, man. I know you got a abundance of information. You pack with a lot of information, and you got a lot of years in the game. And we just gonna have to get in and talk about some of the stuff other people dare to talk about.
Oh yeah,
we gonna have to do that.
Yeah, Chicago just need to just really, you know, they say come together and support, but you know, bottom line is, I say, get what you need to get going first before you can start doing all this other support and all this stuff. Then you can come back and really support or come together as a unit and then make it happen, because everybody can say, let's do this, let's do that, and one person just saying it. But if one person can't make it happen, can't change it, you got to take a group effort. And in the same like minds of people as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. And those that want to work together will work together, and you just can't worry about who ain't on board and you asking them for their participation and support, and they not doing it. You can't worry about it. Those of us that gonna do it, we're gonna gravitate toward each other. We're gonna get the job done.
Exactly.
That's it, man. All right, man. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, man. You know, we'll do it again, and you know, I'll be in touch. I'll let you know when the podcast is going up and when it's gonna be ready, and hopefully everything worked out right, and we got it at a tape. So we're going to get it tweaked and get it sounding the way that it should, and it should be ready to go soon.
That'll work, man. That'll work.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, David Britton, right here on Chicago House Radio. It's been Lloyd Dev, and you know how we do it. And we got more to come, so, you know, you keep it locked. Check back in with us right here at Chicago House Radio. It's the podcast with Lloyd Dev and David Britton on board, man. I talk with you, man.
Word, cool. All right.
All right.
Been listening to the Chicago House Radio podcast with Lloyd Dev and our guest David Britton. Did you enjoy that? I hope so. This is the place to be. Make sure you join us next time here at Chicago House Radio as we give you that insight and analysis and have some of the best guests from around the world. We're talking house music. This is the place to be. You want to know what's going on in house music, what's going on in the culture. This is the place to be. And if you have any recommendations, some guests that you'd like to see appear on the Chicago House Radio podcast, hit us up. info@chicagohouseradio.com. info@chicagohouseradio.com. You can also call us. You can leave a voicemail or send a text. And that number is 773-609-0650. Again, that number is 773-609-0650. Join us the next time right here on the Chicago House Radio podcast with Lloyd Dev.
You have been listening to the Chicago House Radio podcast with Lloyd Dev. Be sure to tune in weekly to get the latest news, events, and interviews in house music. Thanks for listening.